It's showtime. Hey, it's showtime already. I almost missed my own showtime. Hello, happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the 21st of March, 2021. And you're here at the David and Mercy Whipple channel. And I'm so happy to have you here. It's going to be a special day. We are expecting a friend to come by. And not sure exactly what time, but I have a book right here by somebody I know. It goes by his name is Abraham Takatsuki, and also known goes by the name of Kiki. And if we're lucky today, he will be stopping by, and we'll get to talk with him. And this is his book that you can actually buy on Yahoo, on Amazon. So. All right, so what else we got going on today? All right, so Sunday, that means tonight, DJ Whipple plays 80s music on kppcsa.com, and you can listen to it, or wait, give me a second here. Ooh, look at all this hey, I can share what I read, what I'm saying, and some of it actually might be interesting, funny. It's up to you to decide. Let me know what you think. Some of the things that come to my head that I want to say in between songs when I'm on the radio. And if we're lucky, in the background, we might actually even see our friend Merlita. There she is right there. There's Merlita. Let me move out of the way. Wait, which way am I going here? There we go. There's Merlita. She's getting ready to work out. She's getting ready to work out, get stronger, and woo, go Merlita. She got some muscles on her, huh? All right, very good. But in the meantime, let's get into DJ Whipple mode here, and while we're waiting for everything to kick off, and I mean I don't. All right, but anyway, all right. So are you ready for this? All right. Woo! They're coming to take me away, haha. So take me home, 'cause I don't remember. Take me home. Take me home, country roads, to the place I belong. Hello, San Antonio. I don't care where we go. I don't care what we do. I don't care, pretty baby. Just take me with you. And so I take you on a trip into the 80s, and then I play some kind of 80s song. And right behind my head, you can't see because the curtains are closed, Merlita's on their treadmill. And Mercy's getting ready for the day. And all right, so in the meantime, let's do this. All right. Wow, they say the heart of rock and roll is still beating. And from what I've seen, I believe them. Now the old but maybe barely breathing, but the heart of rock and roll is still beating. And San Antonio is one of the places listed in that song by Huey Lewis and the News. Well, stay tuned. I'm going to say next hour, later on, somewhere down here, I will share with you all the places I've been to in that song, The Heart of Rock and Roll. And surprise, surprise, I've been lucky. I've been to all of them. You know, you already saw the video I made of the 1/3 of I've Been Everywhere, according to that song. Well, there's some musical songs that list a bunch of cities, and I've actually been to all those cities.
Hey,
yeah. Uh-oh.
Fred.
Hey, what's up? Oh, man. All right. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, motorcycle.
Well, we have a guest. All right. Hey, what's up? All right, so this is This is Abraham, otherwise known as Kiki.
Yeah, how's it going?
Good. And he brought a copy of his book, but I have it too.
Okay.
So I guess we'll like talk and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And find a place where you can actually sit down. You got Merlita over here working out.
I like to have a muscle like you.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, so, yeah, actually, I got an idea. I'm gonna get a chair. We can just sit in here, I guess. I guess wherever you feel comfortable. And try not to knock stuff over here. I don't have anybody online yet watching this, but we are live right now. Okay. And this is such a small room. And I was telling you about instruments, and I was like, okay, I got like my cheap little drum set here, and somewhere, where did I put it? Like this little pink ukulele that is not much of anything. And then I got this. That's my musical instrument. And last Sunday, we actually had a friend of hers, of Merlita's, that actually lives down in Corpus Christi, South Padre Island. And he's actually a professional musician, or at least he has been. And he came in here, he was playing on the drums, and I was playing my little guitar and jumping around. And so it was kind of interesting. We're doing a little jam, even if it didn't make much of it, sense of anything. But all right. So this is Abraham, and how do you say your last name?
Takatsuki.
Takatsuki. Okay. All right. So I read the whole book,
Okay.
But I'm trying to remember, because you're not originally from San Antonio. You're originally from.
I was born in Junction City, Kansas, but I was raised in Hawaii.
Okay, I knew Hawaii came in there somewhere. All right. All right. So at what age did you go to Hawaii? Like 5 or something like that?
Well, no, I was in between my mother and father. My mother and father separated when I was 5. And then I was with my mother until I was 12, and then I moved with my father officially to Hawaii.
Okay.
But every summer prior to that, I was visiting my dad in Hawaii. So
Man.
I already had a rapport with the islands up there.
Okay. And I got like this big old bucket list for just the state of Hawaii, and I almost wonder how much of the stuff you've actually. Did you go like see pretty much everything there is to see in Hawaii?
I mean, when you live there, it's a little different. So, like, you usually stick to your little territory. But, my dad used to do the NHRA drag circuit. So we would go to Maui and run drag race cars out there, then to the Big Island. So, yeah, and I have family in Honolulu and Oahu. So I traveled a little bit. I didn't get to every single island, but
yeah.
Again, it's kind of territorial. You grow up in a certain neighborhood area.
But it's just like the people that are from New York City that they never actually go up in the Empire State Building because it's like they see it every day, so it's no big deal to them.
Yeah.
At least I can say I've been to Hawaii once. I actually got to spend like 6 hours in Hawaii, and I made sure I went to the beach at the Waikiki Beach. Okay. And I actually got to swim in the water for a little bit, and I made sure I went and visited the Capitol building in Honolulu. And that's one of those different Capitol buildings where it's actually kind of like shaped like a volcano. Okay. Have you ever been to that one before?
Probably, but it's been a minute.
It's like it doesn't even have like a center roof. It's just like a volcano, and then it's open to the sky, and so it's pretty cool.
Everything, like even growing up in Hawaii, going to high school and stuff, everything. Our classes were facing outdoors. There was no indoors, so our hallways were outdoors.
Okay.
So it was everything is pretty open in Hawaii. We don't usually have AC in the houses and ceiling fans and.
Yeah, like I'm almost surprised. Well, wow, you don't have AC in the.
No.
Doesn't it get like really hot in Hawaii also?
No, not really.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. I would have thought that would be like maybe not as hot as the desert of.
Once you adjust to the humidity out there, it's just a normal humidity. I mean, now that the world's changing, the climate's changing, it's been a little different up there, but for the most part, we get used to it, and we just have the ceiling fans and then fans. So.
Okay. So if I got any Hawaii friends out here, I got like with the whole YouTube community, I got some people that are on there that they're living in Hawaii, so it's like you say aloha, and all that sort of thing. So. If I remember right, I can't remember what age were you when you somehow made your way over to San Antonio, Texas.
So my when I was younger, like I said, I was with my mother and my stepfather until I was 12. But my mother, at 5 years old, met my stepfather, and he was ex-military. And then he actually had retired out of the Secret Service at that point. And then he started working for Boeing. And that was moving us between Lackland Air Force Base and back in, we were in Benton, Kansas. I don't know if you know where Benton is, but it's a little speck. And right outside of Benton is Kiwanda. And Kiwanda had another Boeing plant out there. So we were back and forth between those two little communities, and then they ended up moving out here for a short amount of time. So that's what kind of gave me the roots here in Texas originally. Then when I was 17, turning 18, my mom was still living here. So I ended up moving back to San Antonio at that point. But you know, when you're a young kid and you grow up kind of in the city life, and then you go back to the islands and it's so restrictive, you're just like, I want to get back to the city. So that was my first thought, was to come back to San Antonio.
Okay. All right, San Antonio, and hang out on the Riverwalk. And
well, you know, when you're younger, it's just different. You know, the island vibe is great and it's wonderful, but it's very restrictive. So like, and what I mean by restrictive is you're at the same restaurants, you know, the same everyday. You can't jump in a car and drive. You're stuck in one space.
And even if you get on a boat, you know, there's only so many islands you can go visit. You know.
Well, everything is by plane. You wouldn't be able to really jump on a boat and go from one island to the next unless you're like have quite a big boat.
Oh wow! So the islands, like there's like what, 5 major islands in Hawaii, if I remember correctly, or
so there's
Big
Island. There's Maui.
Okay, he's got the tattoo of Hawaii on his leg there.
Big Island. And we got, this is where I'm from, is Kauai, Niihau.
Okay.
Honolulu or Oahu. Then you have Lanai, Maui, Big Island, and then I forget the other name of the island. But,
okay.
But yeah, so the island change. There's only so many islands that you can visit. Some of the islands are like forbidden to go to, like the Robinson Island, and then Hanakapiai is forbidden. It's a base out there that basically was used during outside the Korean War, where they did a lot of bombing and strategic things out there. So there's a lot of shrapnel, and so it's closed off to the public. Besides, it's a bird refuge now. So the wildlife community has it closed off to the public.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
So let me tell everybody, and you know, hopefully somebody will like a show on here. People, well, I was like 2 o'clock. You know, this interesting thing is with my YouTube family, I got people that are from all over the world, but a good majority of the people that I'm friends with on here are like from the Philippines. Okay. You know, a bunch of them are from the Philippines, but in America, but the others are still in the Philippines. Yeah. And right now, with the time change, the Philippines is 13 hours ahead of us. So that means that right now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning for anybody in the Philippines. So, you know, I might have somebody that might wake up, check YouTube after going to the bathroom or something like that. But
and that thing in Hawaii is there's a huge Filipino community in Hawaii.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Filipinos in Hawaii.
Yeah, we definitely want to go visit there sometime too. So, all right. Now I've met. What do you prefer to go by, Abraham or Kiki?
I prefer Kiki. Kiki's my business name.
Okay.
That's what I go by.
So, all right. Let me start with this. How did you come up with the name Kiki?
Okay, so Kiki is short for Cherokee.
Oh.
So when I was younger, when I used to do hip hop and rap, Cherokee was my hip hop name.
Oh, okay.
So people were lazy, and they don't want to say Cherokee.
Oh.
So they just started calling me Kiki.
Oh, wow. Okay. And this is way before the Drake song, everybody.
Yes. And it's actually not K-I-K-I. It's K-E-E-K-E-E.
Yes.
Which is completely different.
Oh, man. Wouldn't one of the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, didn't one of their guys was like Cherokee or something like that?
Was he? Yeah. Not talking about the Village People, right?
No, not the Village People. I could have sworn there's like 5. Well, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. I could have sworn one of them was like had some kind of or maybe I'm just thinking about the song Apache.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Apache, jump on it, jump on it. I don't know, maybe. All right. Well.
But yeah, so like my mother is Cherokee, Irish, French.
Okay.
And my dad is Japanese, Hawaiian.
All right.
So
Irish, French, Japanese, and Hawaiian.
My mom was born on the Sallisaw Cherokee Reservation in Sallisaw, Oklahoma. So that's where the Cherokee came from in our bloodline. My great-great-grandmother was full-blooded Cherokee. She's on the Cherokee scrolls.
Okay.
And then it kind of breaks down from there, our lineage. But then on our Irish side is the Dotson family. So the Dotson, I don't know if you know history-wise, but the Dotson family used to be with the Abraham Lincoln and Dotson Land Trust. They owned all of the Virginia territories back in the early 1700s.
Okay. Oh, we got somebody on here. We got Judy Fisher saying, "Hello, host, here for a bit until the grandkids come bursting in." Okay, well, that's always fun. Hello to your special guest as well. Okay, this is his name is KeeKee Takatsuki.
Oh, you can say Abraham. That's fine. Okay, look it up.
Abraham. Okay, if you want to look this up, this is his book that he's got. I got it on Amazon, and you probably, I don't know where else you can buy it. But,
yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, book Out of the Abyss, and this is a very interesting story. Got such an amazing life that it's just, I'm so proud of you that you've gotten to where you're at now, considering some of the things that you've been through, you know.
Yeah. And that will be one of 5. So I'm working on the second book right now. It's in the series of Out of the Abyss.
Okay.
But basically the context of Out of the Abyss is I was an entertainer for almost 18 years, a male entertainer, Magic Mike, whatever you want to call it. And I survived the industry. And what I mean by surviving the industry was the fact that I didn't sell my soul for sexuality or money. And I was able to go through the burdens of that lifestyle and come out unscathed, which is very, very hard for anybody that's ever been in that world or been around that type of environment. It's very, very hard to hold your sanctity. Because it is such an evil world. Yeah. So the book is it touches basis on the beginning of that journey, and my life prior to that journey, and it's just a synopsis of who I am as a person, and then kind of like hopefully it gives people an incentive to strive to, if they're going through burdens in life or problems, to help themselves get out of those.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of hoping there would be like something else after this, the way it would kind of explain to how you got from the ending of this to where you're at now. Yeah. And just like,
and it will be in the next coming books.
Okay.
Like I said,
this shows like the basics of what you've been through, which is part of who you are in one way or another, whether or not you choose to go down any of those paths anymore, which most of them that you're actually trying to avoid, that's for sure. Yeah. It's like, this is like a picture of him, so I don't want to show too many pictures. You got to buy the book for the rest of it, but but okay. So KeeKee right here, him and I have met through like mutual friends in the movie business. You know, yes, he's definitely been a lot more involved in making movies than I have, but nothing I've been in that I've been acting in have actually been finished yet. But we got mutual friends like Nancy Oakley.
Absolutely. Wonderful woman.
Yeah, and we started working on. She's got books of her own. In fact, I got some that are, I could get them out, but she was working on a movie based off of one of her books called Cup of Tea, and so we were involved. I think that's where I first met you.
Two scenes. I actually talked to Kevin Briley just recently because we're working on another project together. But he told me that they just had to film 2 more scenes and then the film's completed. So
wow!
I'll let you know. I'll keep you in the loop when more I hear about that.
That is awesome. Yeah, I think both of us just kind of like have bit parts in it, but if it gets made like want to, someday you may be able to see us in that movie on Netflix or something like that. Or hopefully, we'll see. And then the other one we got, Once Upon a Time in San Antonio. working on. But of course, this whole COVID thing put a stop to pretty much everything that was going on. And but from what he's been telling me, next month we're supposed to be trying to meet up and see if we can continue where we left off. So that would be really good.
Yeah, personally, I've been so busy. I've got about 4 different film projects I'm on right now. I just did some extra work on Walker. So you can check out episode 6 on Walker, and you can see me kind of like flash through section in there.
Okay.
But I'm also working on a film called Rewind by Bad Dog Productions.
Okay.
That's a short film, but it's going to be a very how to explain it. It's kind of like a sci-fi film, but it's dealing with the world that we live in today and how we're in this kind of like iceberg of the governmental change in a sense,
Okay.
You're talking about politics wise.
Wow.
So it's a really cool little story. So look out for Rewind coming out. I'm also working with David Mendez and Michael Garcia Jr. with On American Soil. And then David Mendez has his own film that he's going to be releasing soon that I'm going to be working with their production company. I'm working with a film company called No Sleep Productions. We'll be filming that I want to say it's in May. And then I have one other film that I'll be working on later on, but I can't say the name of it because
okay.
Non-disclosure. But yeah.
Okay. So overall, since you started getting involved in filmmaking and acting, how many films, or I guess even the little what was it? It's been like 1.5 years since you made that one horror movie that had at the film fest, right?
We're actually going to start working on part 2 of that pretty soon.
Okay.
I actually just saw Christopher Langora, Fearless Demon Killers.
Okay. Fearless Demon Killers. Yes.
Yeah. You can see that on YouTube. That was a fun little project. San Antonio film, short film, but it's actually a series. So we're going to be hitting part 2 of that series here pretty soon.
Oh man.
I'm not exactly sure on the dates when that's going to be filmed, but because I have so many other projects going on, it's really hard to juggle things sometimes when you're working with so many different producers. But
yeah,
you do the best and just keep moving forward and keep grinding. So
wow.
But yeah, that was I kind of call it a Scooby-Doo meets Cheech and Chong type of film. It's a very cute little series. So.
Yeah, it's horror, but it's like comedy too. It's just like it was really neat to actually see that in the film festival, and I thank you for helping me. I think one of the first YouTube videos I was making, you actually helped create part of it for me.
No problem.
Really good with that stuff too.
I appreciate you allowing us. David allowed us to use his house on one of the 48-hour film festivals. A movie called Hunted that we did with MK Productions, and that's on YouTube as well. You can look it up, The Hunted, MK Productions. And I've worked on 4 films with MK Productions. We did Prisoned, Hurtful Love, The Hunted, and what is the other film? There's one other film that we did. Can't remember right off the top of my head, but yeah, he does really cool little short films.
Okay.
And he's been working with films for about 3 or 4 years now. And he's got a really good film called Chance. It's about a transgender and the process of the life of transgender, and that's a really good film as well. But yeah, for me, I'm an actor, but I also recently have kind of dabbled into film production myself.
Ooh.
And working on my film, The Darkness.
Okay.
And I'm about 15 hours from being finished and completed with that project. It's going to be a feature.
I've been seeing some of the stuff on Facebook about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a very long process, but it's a lot of fun to be on the other side of the camera directing. And people don't realize how much comes into play with the organization of getting everybody together, making sure the costumes and props are there, making sure that you have enough help with the cameras and hitting the right camera angles and knowing your wide to medium to your close-ups and knowing when to shoot, where to shoot, having drone shots, not having drone shots. You know, there's so much that goes into it. And then the biggest thing is having the proper sound, making sure that you have a boom mic available and having the right sound so that when you're going into your post and you're editing, that the editor's not just pulling his hair out trying to get everything within continuity. You know, it's super important to make sure that you have all your tools at your availability when you start to produce your own films.
Man, that goes way beyond any skills I currently have, even making my YouTube videos. My YouTube videos, I'm like at the basics. Like I got, you know, I got like my little video camera, or else I use my phone to like film parts, and then I like piece it together. Then I try to put words in the different segments and then music. But there's just like so much stuff that like I don't know how to, you know, some people are like so creative. They got stuff zooming all over the place. They got like bubbles of words and they can do almost anything. And I'm like, I just haven't figured that out yet. Although some of it is like almost too much where I'm like, I really don't like watching, you know, when it's like crazy like that. But,
well, I mean, there's so many different ways of doing your podcast, you know, and there's people that just want to see you. And they're in it for you, not for all the special effects and all the doodads that comes with it. Judy, I don't know if I answered your question already, but the book is about me and my life coming up in the male dancer industry and surviving that, and the trials and tribulations, and I basically break down the 7 deadly sins and how I saw that affecting people's lives in that industry, and how 4 of those deadly sins came very close to conquering my life, but I was able to strive and survive through it. I really do recommend this book for anybody that wants to take a journey, because it definitely will give you the opportunity to walk into a world that you've never like seen before and actually feel the moment.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so what we got? Judy's back. She says, I hear you, David. I just learned today how to upload a video, and I feel like I conquered the world. Yes, it's just such a good feeling when you learn like a new skill with that sort of thing, you know. And like you were saying, with you taking on these new roles, it's just like you really probably see a whole bunch of stuff like I didn't even know that was a thing, you know.
and you know, it's I always tell, you know, like my generation myself, you know, I grew up with Mac DOS software, you know, and AOL and
AOL with the dial-up and
so like I feel like I'm a computer dinosaur when it comes to a lot of computer automated technology.
Yeah,
kids are so good at coding now, and it's just kind of I'd rather just hire somebody that will come in and just do that for me, so I can just kind of sit back. So,
So we did answer her question. Says thank you. So that's good.
Thank you for watching.
Shoot, I remember. I remember when I'm old enough that I remember when Apple first came out with home computers and stuff like that. And I was actually kind of smart as a kid. I learned how to make certain programs or whatever. But you know, compared to things today, it was like the basic things. Like I learned how to make like crossword puzzles and things like that. You know, like, which is actually pretty good. But compared to I don't even.
I was never a computer kid per se. I was never a video game person, but I did do a lot of editing with music. So when I went from the editing side of the music going into the video side, it was very easy transition for me.
Okay.
Of understanding the codecs and how to basically, you know, copy and paste and put things in alignment and stuff like that. So it made it a lot easier for me to understand that. So when it came to doing the editing side of things for video, it worked out a lot easier for me.
Okay. Now, with all the movies that you've been in, you already mentioned that a few of them you can actually find on YouTube. So, you know, when we're done with this live stream, if you want to watch any of the movies he's in, you know, go search them on YouTube. So which ones did you say you can find on YouTube? The Hunted?
The Hunted is on
That's
YouTube.
the one that you guys filmed here, right?
Nathaniel Paul's Rock Bottom is on YouTube.
Okay, Nathaniel Paul Rock Bottom. Okay.
I was a featured extra in a movie called Lowrider Weekend. That was a film here in San Antonio with Jesse Borrego and Danny Delapaz. That one should be on YouTube as well. I was in a couple other movies when I was younger, just kind of like extra roles, which was a new guy with DJ. What is his last name? But that was the actual mainstream movie that was out at the movie theaters. And then this July, I think Jungle Cruise will be coming out with The Rock and Him and Blunt, and I was an extra in that in Hawaii.
Wow.
Yeah, so that'll be a mainstream movie. I just was on a film called Lady Law.
Okay.
And that will be releasing here pretty soon. I'm going to the premiere for that in April.
Okay.
But that's going to be a Western with a woman lead as a marshal. She's a female marshal.
Lady Law. Okay, all right.
So it was a fun film to work with.
Probably way different than Suzanne Summers and what is it, Lady Sheriff? Or remember there was like a TV show with Suzanne Summers where she played the sheriff, but it was called Woman Sheriff. I'm the sheriff. She's the sheriff.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Can't remember if it was even a good show or not, but all right. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So and there's a lot of films that I'm working on right now that are in post production. So as soon as they're done, I just finished doing a cameo in a Christmas slasher with Destiny Explorers Productions. That'll be a Christmas horror movie.
Okay.
So I just wrapped that a couple weeks back. And then, like I said, I have about 4 projects that I'm going to jump on here pretty soon. So,
okay,
it's just one thing at a
busy
time.
guy,
Yeah.
but you're that's like part of your dream. How old were you when you felt like you wanted to get into acting, to be a movie star or whatever?
I would say 14 years old.
Okay,
and
all right.
I was in Japanese class in Hawaii.
Japanese class in Hawaii. Okay,
and,
all right.
I don't know if you remember Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So the main actor, Shang Tsung, which is Kerry Togogawa.
Okay.
The main bad guy, the leather jacket, the long hair.
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor and several other movies.
Okay.
He came to our school.
Oh wow.
To our class, and we became friends. And that was when I told myself, I was like, man, I would love to become an actor. And just growing up as a kid, I was a huge fan of Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of my motivation when it comes to exercise and lifestyle and taking care of myself was attributed to Bruce Lee's lifestyle of the Tao Jeet Kune Do and living that type of lifestyle. But yeah, it just for me being Asian, you kind of grow up in that Asian parameter of work first, play later.
Yeah, it's interesting because like my wife and my friend, they're both Filipino, but lately it seems like a good portion of the stuff that they like to watch is beyond just Philippine movies. They like watch almost any movie that's an Asian movie at this point in time. In fact, we finally got done watching all, I think there's 5 or maybe even 6 of the Ip Man movies. And so, it's pretty cool to see, the different open-mindedness of like, okay, for me, as long as it's got subtitles, I'm cool with it.
Well, growing up as a kid, I was one of those kids that grew up on Kung Fu Masterpiece Theater.
Oh yeah.
So I would wait until midnight every night when that came on the weekends, and I was watching hours until I fell asleep watching Kung Fu Masterpiece Theater. So
oh yeah,
I was one of those kids growing up.
Okay. Yeah. Yesterday have you seen the movie Minari yet?
No, I haven't.
We finally watched it yesterday.
Okay.
I paid $20 for it on Amazon. Don't tell my wife. Okay.
Was it good?
It was good. Yeah. I mean, I felt like there should have been more to the ending because it's one of those movies that ends. It's. I mean, I guess it's a good ending, but I wanted to see more happen. There's got to be more to the story of what happened after that. But
Gotcha.
But other than that,
maybe they're setting up for part 2.
Maybe, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like one of those cliffhanger type endings, but I don't know. Man, so that is awesome. So you're you actually are getting to live one of your dreams.
Yes, absolutely. You know, like I've been blessed with my free time to be able to do this. Most people that are actors or are pursuing acting, they're either taking that as a career and they're streamlining that, and that's all they do.
Yeah.
And that's where they come up with the model of the starving actor, because you know so many people that they'll do a small gig here, make a little bit of money, but then there's no real income in acting unless you're with a sitcom or a series, or if you know a mainstream actor and you signed a multi-million-dollar deal. But as actors, the majority of us do it for the love of that, the craft of it. And that's where I'm blessed, because I run my personal training company as my primary and where I make my money.
Okay.
And outside of that, then when I have my free time, I always say my girlfriend is acting.
Okay.
So I spend all my free time with my girlfriend acting.
All right. If you ever actually get to see Kiki's, I know on your Facebook page you got videos of you, you know, with all your flips and doing your workouts and stuff like that, and you got some pretty amazing stuff on there. It's like, oh man, I feel like I'm so out of shape compared to what you're doing, and I'm like, I wish I had the motivation to just do that, because I mean it's good, you know.
Well, I mean, I always look at life as, you know, the old-fashioned hourglass theory, right? So like, once that hourglass turns over and the sand starts to fall, each grain of sand is a speck of our time of life. So eventually, when we run out of sand, we're not going to be able to do those things. So you might as well take every grain of sand like it's your last.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I got to get back on track with that myself, because you know, with those two movies will hopefully eventually get made, you know, because COVID put a stop to it. You know, you've been finding a way to still be involved in stuff, whereas me, I just kind of like stopped, and I'm just waiting for that one to start up again. But you know, like on Facebook, I got like San Antonio actors page and stuff like that, but I'm not really, you know, it's this. Oh, man, it's tough.
Well, you know, it's one of those things too. It's where is your passion lie when it comes to that? Are you trying to do this to do one? Like I put a quote on Facebook the other day, which was, and I sent it out to all my actor friends. It was just like, would you prefer to do one movie that is huge and that everybody's going to know for the rest of your life, or several so movies?
Yeah,
that way you're staying busy and continuously working.
That's true.
You know, and I've always a lot of the rapport I got was several movies, and I feel the same way. I feel like in the industry, and especially in the entertainment industry, they always say the phrase, it's like, it doesn't matter what kind of press you get, whether it's good press or bad press, but
as long as you're getting press,
as long as people are talking about you.
Yeah.
So when people stop talking about you is when you're forgotten.
It's almost kind of like a professional wrestler type of thing, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, whether you're getting good heat or bad heat, as long as you're getting heat, you know, people are really into you. All right, so she said, I recently wanted to watch a documentary that came out on Netflix. It was $19.99 to rent. My husband said, go ahead and rent it. Don't worry about it. It killed me to spend so much just to rent. I understand that. Yeah, it's just like when normally you can, if you have to rent, it's like $2.99 or whatever. And that was on Netflix. Wow, I didn't know Netflix charged like that.
I always just like this, you know, Judy. If we go to a movie theater and we were to buy tickets for each, you and your husband, you'd be spending at least $19 there. Then you'd be buying your popcorn and your drink and everything else, and you're spending almost $50 to $60. So to be in the comfort of your home to watch something for $20,
and you have the whole family up in there watching.
Yeah, I would say is definitely you got yourself a bargain.
That's true. Yeah, and you know, you may not get the whole movie theater experience, but you're actually there to watch what you wanted to watch, and yeah, that works. Okay, Netflix or Prime? Can't remember which. Probably Prime. Yeah, or like how Disney been doing it lately. I keep seeing this leg go back and forth. Oh, okay, she's stretching. That's what we're seeing. I'm seeing. she's over there working out. I see the leg going up and I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, like with Disney, you know how they did when Mulan, you know, was released. And at first, you know, for a couple months or whatever, you know, even if you had Disney, you had to have the Disney Plus or whatever it was, you know. And just like I think there's one out right now that I really want to see, but I'm trying to wait on that too, you know.
Well, just like the Justice League reboot.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard it was actually really good.
Yeah, I actually watched part of it already. And I honestly didn't see the first Justice League. I when it came out, had so much stuff going on in my life.
Yeah.
And moving, I didn't get a chance to watch that film, so it was kind of neat to see the Snyder cut of that and seeing a different version of it, updated version, anyways.
Okay.
So, but it's all promotion for the next film because they're already about to release this part 2 of the Justice League. So.
Yeah. I mean, to tell you the truth, I haven't heard really any good things about it, but I still kind of want to see the Wonder Woman 84, just because, like with my radio station and my show is an 80s show, so just for it to be Wonder Woman 84, I want to see how many references to the 80s there are, and
you know, it was good, in certain aspects. There was, as a director's point of view, there's a lot of wasted shots, and they did some things in there that was not necessary for the film's continuity and contrast of the storyline.
Yeah,
it was kind of like, oh, you're going up an escalator in the movie for no reason, and it just wasted a lot of energy. And I feel like if you're staying true to the comic book franchise, you know, then you're going to push towards the storyline of the comic book franchise instead of 1984.
Yeah, true. Especially since you already had, you know, the other movie kind of cover.
Well, it's kind of one of those things where it's like the title of the movie is 1984, but you don't need to take a magnifying glass and put it on 1984.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you're already gonna expect that right when you watch the film.
And you know what's interesting to me about that is the Wonder Woman TV show, which, you know, they kind of try to model the movie off of. Also, is, you know, that actually ended in 1979, so they didn't even have the TV show going on in the 80s. Although, of course, it was so popular, you know, it carries on from there.
I used to watch that show when I was a kid.
Yeah, good old Linda Carter. You know?
And not to ruin it for you, but she's in that film.
Oh, nice. Okay,
so
well, that's
definitely
good.
Have to see that.
All right. Yeah, because I got a little bit that I included on my radio show. I was actually looking up stuff about the Muppet Show.
Okay.
And the last season of the Muppet Show carried on until the end of 1981. And so I was looking, okay, in the 80s Muppet Show, which was basically like one season, you know, I was looking up all the guest people and stuff like that. And Linda Carter was one of them and stuff like that. And back later on when I go through, this right here, on my radio show, I come on and talk 3 times an hour. And, you know, and I've got like 4 hours on Saturday nights and 4 hours on Sunday nights. So I have to prepare like 24 little bits where I come up with stuff to say. And sometimes it just takes, it's a little bit of work, you know, but that's one of the things that I covered in that. So.
Let's see if I can bring some people on your podcast real quick. How much time do you have on your show?
As much as I want, you know. I can go on for, like last Sunday I did it for 2 hours, sometimes just 1 hour, just depends on what's going on and how much of what I got is going on. All right, podcast. All right. So we got a YouTube and podcast going on at the same time. There we go. All right.
Hello guys, how's it going? KeeKee Takatsuki. Want to introduce my friend David Whipple, and we're live on his YouTube channel. So you want to tell me your link?
All right, the David and Mercy Whipple channel. That's the name you can look it up under. David and Mercy Whipple.
And we got a few friends that'll be popping in. So if you guys want to look us up and kind of see us on dual sides, you can jump off here and get on his YouTube channel and link in, because he has several different people on there. We're currently talking about Out of an Abyss right now. So you guys want to log on to his YouTube channel, or you can stay on here and check us out in our conversations we're working with. So we have Judy Fisher on right now on our channel, on his channel, on his YouTube. So
and I think half my people are probably sleeping right now, but that's what happens when you do it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. You know, it's already Monday morning. You know, but sometimes you'd be surprised. Oh, is that mine? Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what I do.
Okay. So your radio show, is that virtual broadcast, or is that?
Well, it's an actual radio station. It's my church here in San Antonio. They have a radio station. I mean, it's kind of like low bandwidth, so you know, if you travel outside of a certain area, you probably can't get it. And it's got other radio stations that compete with it. But for the most part, yeah, I'm on there. You know, it's like one of those things where for the whole week they play hits of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Okay. And up until the time that I moved here, that's all they did. You know, because they have like an older demographic or whatever.
Link for that?
It's if you want to listen to it online, it's at kptcsa.com. And on Saturday and Sunday nights Central Time, my show is from 7 to 11. Now, of course, I go in on Sunday mornings and I record that stuff in advance. Okay. Which makes it interesting because, okay, for my Sunday show, that's not a problem because I'm recording for that night. But I also record for the next Saturday after that. So it's like I got to pay attention to what's on the calendar and be like, what's going on? Like, for example, what is it? Next Saturday we got stuff like what is it? I guess Passover and Palm Sunday and stuff like that. So you may not be thinking about that stuff right now, but it's like I want to be, and I can't talk about what's happening now in a week from now either. So, and that's one of those things where like if something's on TV and like, okay, if I wanted to talk about the Grammys, like Grammys is usually on Sunday nights, and of course, if I do my live stream or whatever, my show, since my stuff is pre-recorded, if I want to say anything about it, I can't really say who won because obviously I'm not going to know when it's happening. So,
well, I just want to thank David for bringing me over to his show and bringing me on. We are discussing my book, Out of an Abyss, and you can find this on Amazon Prime. It's also available on Kindle if you have a Kindle. So you can look up my book, Out of the Abyss, A Life Ascending by Abraham Takatsuki, and that will be on Amazon Prime.
All right. So. Very good. All right. Oh, no. Jody Fisher says, need to head out now, gentlemen. Thank you, David, to your special guest for sharing about his new book. Take care, and we'll see you again. Bye for now. Okay. Bye, Judy. Thank you for being here. All right. So that works.
So I see that you have a little Dr. Seuss book over there.
Oh, yeah. In fact, one of my, of course, this isn't one of the ones that got banned or whatever. I've got some Dr. Seuss books. I like Dr. Seuss. And, actually a couple live streams ago.
How things are going with the cancel culture right now? Is it concerning to you?
Well, one of the things, this one right here, this one has really bothered me, what they're doing with him, because, I mean, if you ever watch any of the Pepe Le Pew movies or whatever, there's a couple of them where, he's like that, and there's at least one I watched where, at the very end of the movie, he finally caught the girl, and he had her, like, chained up in his basement or something like that, which is just, like, really strange. But then again, you watch any horror movie, you're going to see so much worse. But then there's also ones where they flip the script on him, and something happens, and then he's afraid of the girl, and the girl's in love with him, and then she's chasing him. Yeah. So it's not like.
And again, to me, it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
And if you're taking a cartoon seriously at that context, then you're literally taking life at the wrong context, because we don't live in a cartoon. This is in a virtual world.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have a newer generation that's taking things into a life where they think that they can reboot the world.
Yeah.
And we can't
pretend like nothing ever happened and we've always been these perfect good people. And
well, I mean, it depends on what perfect is to you, because perfection is a fantasy, so to speak.
Yeah, very
it
true.
Doesn't really exist,
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a different definition of what certain things mean to them.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you really think about it, in fact, when I eventually go through and read this, I was talking about like in the remember in the 80s how you ever remember the PMRC, Parental Music Resource Center? They were all concerned about music and stuff like that, and then they looked at like some of the heavy metal stuff, and they tried to either ban the stuff completely or else at least put. They're the ones that were responsible for getting the parental advisory stickers on it. Yes. So we had, and then of course you got the really devout Christians that were against certain books and stuff like that, just because of so our whole life had some kind of sect or whatever who felt like stuff needed to be censored for a reason.
I mean,
back then, as an adult now, some of it almost kind of makes sense to me. But the funny thing about those parental advisory stickers is the fact that they actually caused the kids to go out and buy them even more.
Absolutely.
They wanted to get that stuff that they're not supposed to have. You got to ask
yourself that was a little bit of reverse psychology in certain aspects as well, because they had money into the companies that were producing the stuff.
Yeah.
My mother used to tell me about, when Elvis first came out, that the generation prior to Elvis didn't like Elvis and didn't want people looking at him shaking his legs.
Shaking his legs.
And
knocked over a drum.
Yes. So that's how things happen. But I just wanted to reach out to my fan base and let them know. Again, tell them about your channel.
Hey, you got somebody on here. You got Christine Deal is watching. Shamim Shear is watching.
Hey, Christine, how's it going? Hello, Shannon. So, again, David Whipple is a friend of mine that we've worked on a couple film productions together. He invited me onto his YouTube channel, so you can check out his YouTube channel one more time.
David and Mercy Whipple.
Okay.
In fact, maybe I ought to write it down or something like that, because might not even some people. Well, David's an easy name to.
What's up, Mike? How you doing, sir? How's everything going? Looking forward to working with you again on American soil. How did your film go? I know you just did a Western just recently. I was looking forward to working with you on Lady Law. Hope everything's going good with you. But I'll be looking forward to seeing you. Yeah, so you can look out for David Whipple and his wife's YouTube channel.
There we go. That's how it's spelled. So, wait, if I put it up here, you can't see Kiki. All right.
Oh, that's okay.
So there it is, right there. Okay.
But yeah, you can check us out. I'm going to be logging out, guys, so we get back to his page. So I will see you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for tuning in. And again, David, have a blessed day.
All right. And hopefully I'll see y'all in the movie sometime too.
Yeah. So we'll be working on Michael Garcia's film pretty soon on American soil. And then I'm going to be finishing up Rewind with Bad Dog Productions. I've got a few other films that will be coming out soon as well. So you guys have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? Aloha.
Aloha. Same time. Okay, here we go. Very good. All right. That's Women's History Month too, still. So it's like, see how I've got all my records and CDs here?
See that.
Basically, because it's Women's History Month, that's how I tried to decorate my background in here for that sort of thing. Nice. Nick is there. Hello, Nick. How you doing?
Hello, Nick. How you doing, sir?
All right, Nick. I have my friend I can't. Why can't I say your last name?
So it's Taka.
Takatsuki.
Yes.
KeeKee Takatsuki.
And we're here promoting my book, Out of an Abyss.
You can get this on Amazon.
And it's also available on Kindle if you have a Kindle. So Kindle Fire, it's available.
All right. Nick says, wonderful. Let's see, Nick. Nick, where did you say? Where are you from, Nick? Trying to remember. I got, the great thing about YouTube is you can get people from all over the world on here. And I got friends from like Africa, I think I might even have like somebody from Russia that's on here, and with Filipinos, they can pretty much go anywhere. I got Filipino friends that live in like Norway and stuff like that.
Have you spoken with Romalette? She does Fil-Am productions, and she's networked in with the Filipino community here in San Antonio.
No, I'm not familiar with that.
All the Filipino broadcasts, and she does her own live broadcast. She's got like over 60,000 people in the Filipino community.
Swannanoa, North Carolina. Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'm not familiar with where Swannanoa is. I used to live out. I was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, like twice. So I know a lot of it, but that name doesn't sound familiar.
How long ago was it that you were stationed out there in Fort Bragg?
Well, the last time I was stationed there, I was there from the end of '95 to like mid '97.
Okay.
No, not 97. 2017.
Okay.
Oh my God. 2015 to 2017.
Did you know
like 20 years ahead of time?
John Dominguez, Special Forces Unit, Med.
Not too familiar with. No, I only really pretty much knew people in my unit and stuff like that. I was a quartermaster type of guy, supply type units, that sort of thing. So kind of stayed away from the airborne side of things. I didn't do the whole jumping out of plane thing or anything like that. But although I could have if I wanted to, because when you're there, that's what they really want people to be able to do. Get your wings. But I remember, the funny thing is that was actually my very first duty station and my last duty station. And I remember my first time when I was first in, they were talking about that. Like, I think part of the reason I didn't do it is because my wife at the time didn't want me to, because she was like so scared about what the possibilities were.
I've been to North Carolina one time. I've been to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
It was very beautiful. I remember North Carolina being very green and lush and very peaceful. It was a very nice, serene area when I was out there.
Yeah, there's North Carolina. There's two on both sides of North Carolina. That's the best places to go. You either got the whole beach area with the Outer Banks and all that sort of thing. That's really amazing. And then you've got your side that's closer to the mountains, which is just you got like Asheville and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely worth. And then you got other stuff in between, which is okay. I mean, of course, Raleigh's like in the middle there somewhere.
So Nick, where is your location in North Carolina? Are you closer to Charlotte, or are you closer to the military base?
That's the only thing about YouTube is sometimes it almost seems like there's a delay.
Yeah.
I know when I'm on other, I'll go to other people's live streams, and a lot of what depends upon whether I'm actually paying attention to what's going on in the live stream or not, because sometimes I'll be in there, I'll be involved in stuff like that. Closer to Asheville, okay. Yes, Asheville. They got the Biltmore Estate out there. It's just really amazing.
Okay.
And then if you ever get a chance to go out to the mountains and the Blue Ridge Parkway and stuff, that's just, wow. It's so nice. And I'm sure you've been up in the volcanoes and stuff like that over there in Hawaii. So
yeah.
What is it in Hawaii? Isn't there like it's not called the Stairway to Heaven, but there's something like is it called the Stairway to Heaven?
Okay. That's in Oahu.
In Oahu, yeah.
I don't know if it's still open. I know they shut it off to the public for a while because the stairwell was decaying. But yeah, it's in Oahu. I can't remember how many steps it is, but it's one of the most beautiful scenic views of Oahu, and you're going up this staircase that's just literally on the peak of the mountain going across, and it's just phenomenal. A lot of people like to go up there and do drones.
Okay.
And you get just beautiful drone footage out there from up there because you're just like right there at the top. So
yeah. Wow, that make me want to invest in a drone just so I can take some more interesting videos and all that sort of thing. So
they're a lot of fun.
All right. Well, since you're here, you want to help me reading some of my stuff and see what you come up with?
On what aspect?
Okay, well, it's like for example, I got this stuff, and maybe if you want to like take turns in reading a thing, just although, like for example, one of the things I got is okay. So now this month is celebrated Women's History Month, and up until now, with my radio show and stuff like that, I had covered like the years from 1980 to 1988 as far as trying to find out what women had #1 songs in that year. So, like, I got 1989, and I said, what females have #1 songs for 1989? So we got Paula Abdul, Debbie Gibson, the Bangles, Roxette, Madonna, Paula Abdul again, Bette Midler, Martika, Paula Abdul again, Gloria Estefan, Janet Jackson, and Roxette for a second time.
Okay.
That's not a bad year for women. And so, you know,
do you remember the songs?
I actually, that's in my next part. I hear I'm like
Straight Up.
All the Paula Abdul songs. Yeah, Forever Your Girl, Straight Up, Cold Hearted Snake, Cold Hearted.
And then Debbie Gibson was Electric Youth.
Electric Youth, and a bunch of other ones. Okay, so I actually went and did this. My next segment I had, I went and I like made something out of all the names of those songs, but that went to #1 at that time. So I like, welcome to the beginning of our second hour of our 80s time here at KPPC. Straight Up, I got lost in your eyes, like an eternal flame. You got the look, and she got the look. Just like a prayer, your voice will take me there. And then I say, so happy my wife said to me, David, I'm forever your girl. And I said, well, you are the wind beneath my wings. Even if I spend time playing with toy soldiers, that was the #1 song from Martika, or action figures. Oh, come on, don't be cold-hearted. I don't want to lose you now, which is Gloria Estefan. I know, you know I will miss you much. So listen to your heart. And then I just throw in Milli Vanilli for the heck of it. I don't want to blame it on the rain. So I come up with stuff like this. And then, okay, see if I remember right. Kansas, Hawaii, Texas, Oregon. How much traveling have you done in your lifetime?
So I've been to 3 countries. I've been to Japan, Italy, Spain.
Ooh, okay.
I've been to majority of the states. I've never been to New York, Rhode Island, any of the states up towards Maine. I've never been to Minnesota, but I've been to Washington. I've been to Nevada, California, New Mexico, Oklahoma, of course, the family out there, Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas. Let's see, where else have I been? Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida. It's quite a few of the states. When I was younger, my stepfather had bought an RV. And we went to a lot of the national monuments and did this whole summer trip across North America.
That would have been really cool.
So we went to the Niagara Falls, Petrified Forest, Carlsbad Caverns, and we just kind of made this huge trip across North America.
Grand Canyon. There's so many of those that I want to go see so bad, you know.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Okay, so you've probably been to just as many, if not even more, places that I might have even been to. Wow, so I got actually one of the things I did is there's like some songs from the 80s where they basically like list a whole bunch of places, and like for example, the Hard Rock and Roll by Huey Lewis and the News. You know, they said the heart of rock and roll is still beating. And so I actually have been to all the places that they list in this song. Like I got New York, LA, Hollywood, and the Sunset Strip. Although I'm not sure if I've actually been to the Sunset Strip, but I might have been because I was out there in Hollywood and all that sort of thing. Got DC, San Antone, and the Liberty Town, Boston and Baton Rouge, Tulsa, Austin, Oklahoma City, Seattle, San Francisco too. The rock and roll music really, really drives them wild. You know? So I've actually been to all those places at least. And then, you know the song "I've Been Everywhere" by Johnny Cash?
Yes.
I've been everywhere, man. Okay, I actually have another video that I just put out last week where I actually did this. I counted up. I got the whole list of the places that he lists on there. There's like 101 places that he lists, and I've been everywhere. And I've been to 1/3 of those 101 places, and that's a whole separate video that's on here already. But
I'm hoping this. Last year I was supposed to go to Egypt.
And
it got canceled because of COVID. So I'm hoping this year in October that I get the opportunity to go out there. That's been one of my dreams, to get out there to see the pyramids.
Well, this last year I just turned 50.
Okay.
And you know, when you turn 50, you're supposed to have like a bit, you're supposed to try to do something big, but of course with everything going on, I couldn't. And the thing, I wanted to take a cruise to Alaska. I've never been to Alaska. And so that's one of those things that's like high on my list of things I want to do, because my wife wants to go to Alaska also. Although now she may not need to as much, because from the Philippines, they've never seen snow before.
Now we had snow.
Yeah. And so with just 3 weeks ago with what happened, and it snowed that much, she actually got to play in the snow, and so she had an actual real snow experience. But then with everything else that happened with the power out and it being cold in here, she's like, okay, that's good enough, you know.
If I had the opportunity to go to Alaska, the thing that I would look forward to going to see in Alaska would be the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah,
the Aurora Borealis.
That'd be pretty cool. All right, so traveling man, been to 1/3 of these places, and then James Brown had that song "Living in America" on Rocky IV, you know, and he's been to, and I've actually been to all these places too. In New Orleans, Detroit City, Dallas, Pittsburgh, PA. Although I'm not actually doing it in the James Brown voice. Pittsburgh, PA, New York City, Kansas City, Atlanta, Chicago, and LA. Okay. All right, and then there's an old James Brown song called "Night Train" from 1962, where that's a lot of them too. And got Miami, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Raleigh, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Richmond, Virginia, Baltimore, Maryland, Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, Massachusetts, and don't forget New Orleans, the home of the blues. And I've been to all those places.
The section in like I said, in the East Coast, I've not been out there.
Okay.
And, you know, to be honest with you, I'm not an Eskimo, so I don't really care for cold weather that much. So that's why I've always kind of stayed to the warmer zones.
Yeah.
Being Hawaiian, got thin skin, and cold weather doesn't do well with me. But with that being said, if I had an opportunity to travel somewhere that would be cold, not saying I would want to go in the dead of winter, but I always wanted to go to Moscow and go to St. Paul right there, or right there in the square, and just be that little bitty speck of that vastness, you know. I think that would be amazing.
All right. Yeah, Moscow would be that'd be a pretty amazing trip to do, because not too many people get out to places like that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, have you ever been to North Dakota? You talk about being cold. Woo.
I've been to Utah. I've been to Provo. So I've been up on that side. But to be honest with you, when I was up there, it was colder in Kansas in the winter than it was in Provo, Utah. And I think it was because of the altitude. Yeah, the altitude. Like, for example, I lived in Tacoma, Washington for 2 years. And because they got big mountains like Mount Rainier and stuff like that, they're almost protected from the extreme weathers. You know, it never gets a really cold winter, and summers never get very hot either. You know, but the summer, you know, the funny thing is in Seattle they say, you know, it rains all the time, like almost every day. Although most of the time it's
just kind of like barely a sprinkle. But during the summertime, for like maybe 2 months of the summer, you don't get any rain, and then it actually gets so dry they actually have to worry about fires and stuff like that.
I bet.
Yeah, so it's such a surprise to see a place that has so much water all the rest of the year round to have just 2 months where they can still have fire because there's not enough water. It's like, what happened to all the rest of the water when you didn't save it?
Well, I could imagine up there with as many redwood trees they have up there, and they probably don't have people that go out there and clean a lot of that brush out. So it probably leaves room for people that are camping and things like that to, fires to be cast,
Yeah. Tell you what, Mount Rainier is pretty awesome, though. But, yeah. I love going up there. One of these days, I'm going to have to visit that place again. And in fact, it's because of the Space Needle in Seattle that sometimes I keep forgetting that what we got here in San Antonio is called the Tower of the Americas. Anything that's like similar to that, I keep wanting to refer to as the Space Needle.
In Japan, they have a kind of like a Space Needle as well.
Okay.
And it's very, very similar to the Tower of Americas here, where you go up to the top and it's revolving. But the difference up there is there's a portion of the floor that's all glass, so it's like you can see everything underneath your feet, and it gives you this kind of like creepy feeling of walking. It's like, oh, if this ever broke, we'd be in trouble.
Oh yeah. It's like I can't remember if it's I think in China or someplace like that. There's actually a glass bridge. That I've seen people on, and I don't know if I can do it.
And what's funny about that glass bridge is they actually have holographic images built into the glass, so that when you're walking, it cracks. And it makes you think that it's breaking from underneath.
Oh, okay.
So
I've seen videos of that. Yeah, and people are like, oh man. Even at what is it, the Grand Canyon, they got like the circular glass thing that you can walk across, and that's on my bucket list. So, man. Oh, so when I was talking about the PMRC and stuff like that, and they were against even like stuff like Prince, and there's a group called Wasp, a metal band. They have songs like Animal, F Like a Beast, and they had I guess an album cover with a buzzsaw for
that's when they were against Motley Crue's album.
Shout at the Devil.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was that big campaign.
Yeah. And multiple offenses.
Metallica. They were really big against Metallica when they first came out.
But they had people like Dee Schneider of Twisted Sister and Frank Zappa that came on, and they actually were articulate, and they kind of put them in their place. To me, I can understand trying to protect. I don't know. It's complicated, but
Well, I think that modern day cancel culture is 10 times greater because of social media.
Yeah.
When we were younger, we didn't have the internet like we did, so it didn't spread like wildfire like it does now.
Yeah.
So now we're touching, not just in North America, we're touching several different countries.
Yeah.
With the internet and the vastness of it. So the cancel culture becomes 100 times worse because now you're seeing, children's children sing it all the way through China to America. So, it's more prevalent. It's a lot harsher.
Yeah.
And that's where you see people that literally get bashed on the internet, and they take it 10 times greater.
Yeah.
Because of that. And the cancel culture has a lot to do with that as well,
Yeah. And a lot of it's all about the bottom dollar too. And a lot of, like with the whole Dr. Seuss thing and all that, they did it themselves actually. They decided, they looked at their stuff and said, okay, we're gonna not put this out anymore because we feel like that's gonna be offensive, and I don't know.
Well, yes and no. I've also heard that there is a league of people out there that are pushing this new type of education. Can't think of what the name of it is right offhand. but they're pushing a new type of education, and they're promoting their own books. So the books of old, like Dr. Seuss and our generation type of things, are kind of in their way. So the only way to get rid of the things that are in the way for making money, because Dr. Seuss is one of the, even to this day, is one of the most sold, sought after children's books on the market. So one of the easiest way to put your stuff into the market is get rid of the thing that's your competition.
Wow. Kind of a scary thought, huh?
Absolutely.
Man.
Live and let live is what I say.
Yeah. Not live and let die.
I did a podcast yesterday with Samurai Matt, and the beginning of the podcast was the reason why we even instated to do the podcast was he had made a statement on Facebook about Mount Rushmore, and he said, "We as American people, when we see Mount Rushmore, we should feel ashamed." And I put a quote on there, and I was just like, "Me as a Native American man, explain why." Then somebody else chimed in, making the statement of, well, if they have to explain why, then they've already answered the question. And we're friends, the person that messaged that. So I was just like, okay, that's fine. But I chimed back, and I was just like, well, I understand the fact that, you know, Mount Rushmore was originally the 7 forefathers of Native American people in the tribe that was there that was defaced, and they put American presidents in correlation to representation of the new America that was conquered over the Native American and indigenous people. And there's also a hidden military base underneath Mount Rushmore that most people don't know about. So then therefore that's why it's there and it'll always be there. But my thing is this, and the reason why I was asking, because he's an African American man, and why does that offend him as an African American man? So me as a Native American person and as an American, I look at things in a different aspect, in a retrospect. It's more on the aspect of, to me, is when you tear down monuments and you tear down statues and things that they're doing right now, you're leaving room for things to be forgotten. So whenever things are forgotten, history tends to repeat itself. So instead of tearing it down, how about we make it better? Like I suggested, maybe get one of the most world-renowned painters and paint every flag from across the world on the faces of Mount Rushmore, make it very artsy and beautiful, or just put a big monument sign, don't ever do this to the Native American indigenous people again, but not to tear it down, because when you tear things down, people forget, and history absolutely repeats itself. And it might not be exactly the same way that it repeats itself, but it will be in a different way, repeating itself, that's going to hurt the next generation.
Or at least put forth enough money to finally finish the Crazy Horse Monument, you know?
Well, I mean,
that one's they've been working on for so long.
And absolutely, but to me, again, like, there's nothing's going to replace the defacement of that. So the best way to remedy or fix something like that, to me, is to make a statement large enough that the new generation will always remember not to ever do this to any other culture.
To me, I think it seems like if it was feasible to do everything that people feel like is wrong with the stuff, that they should just make disclaimers about saying, okay, this is what we feel is wrong with it. We're not going to block it, but I want you to understand, if you watch this, this is what we feel is wrong with it. Because if you completely take it away, you know, you're kind of missing an educational aspect of it, you know.
Well, the thing about it is, us as human beings, we all have our own individual opinion on things. And that is our God-given right, so to speak. And it doesn't matter whom your God is, but it gives you the opportunity to be an individual and have your own factual opinion. And it doesn't take anything away from you as a human and your humanity. But the problem is, we've gotten to a society right now where if you don't believe a certain context or certain direction, then it's 100% wrong no matter what, and nobody wants to hear or budge. And we need to get back to being able to accept things and digest things on a simplified playing field where it shouldn't affect you. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to walk and talk and breathe and move and do. We still exist.
Yeah.
And if whatever is happening in this world that was maybe past pretense is affecting you that grandly, then you have not allowed yourself to live. Because you've put yourself in a virtual prison.
You basically sheltered yourself from, if you cut off other things, then you're spending too much time doing that.
You definitely sheltered yourself from humanity.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we do this in case other people come on that don't know what's going on? Well, let me introduce you again.
That's right.
Okay, so.
And I've got probably about another 10 minutes or so before I have to head out because I have another. I got another film I got to go for a meeting.
Man, that is so awesome that just to be that busy, but you're doing what you love. So, okay, so we are talking with Abraham, otherwise known as KeeKee Takatsuki. Takatsuki.
Make the T silent.
Takatsuki.
Yes.
KeeKee Takatsuki. Although in the book that we're looking at is Out of the Abyss under the name of Abraham Takatsuki, and you can find this on Amazon. This tells pretty much his life story up until like 10 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, about 6 years ago.
About 6 years ago, yeah. And this is a very good book, and he's been through a lot and he's done a lot, but he's overcome some of the stuff that, like with 10 deadly sins that you struggled with. Now, we got this book that you should try to check out right here, but he's also an actor, and some of the movies that you've been in, you can actually find on. Can you find them on anywhere else besides YouTube?
You can look me up on IMDb and Abraham Takatsuki on my IMDb, or you can go on my Facebook, which is Kiki KeeKee Takatsuki on Facebook, and a lot of my progress in the films that I've been working on and prior films will be on my timeline. So if you're interested, you can look it up through there. Again, if you want to look, I don't know if you know what IMDb is, but it's an internet movie database. It allows you to see different actors and what productions that they've been in. And mine is under Abraham Takatsuki under IMDb. And you can see some of the films that I've been on and some of the productions I'm working with currently. And then I have about 4 different productions that I'm in process to start filming.
That's awesome. All right, so since you guys are on YouTube, he's got some movies that you can watch on YouTube.
Yes.
So when you get done watching my live stream, you can go and watch something else, watch one of his movies. Like, okay, one of them is called The Hunted, right?
Yes, that's NK Productions, and that's called The Hunted. It's a short film. It's a 48-hour film festival film that we won Best Costume and Makeup Award for. You can also watch The System by Stride Productions. That's another 48-hour film festival I did. And then you can watch a feature film called Rock Bottom by Nathaniel Paul, and that's also on YouTube. And then we will be, I think, Fearless Demon Killers by Calaveras Film Production should be on there as well.
All right. Can't wait to see that one again. Shoot, I might actually, when we're done here, I might actually get on YouTube just to try to find Fearless Demon Killers again. And it's just such an interesting movie. I mean, it's like low budget and all that sort of thing, but it's fun. So here's the list of movies that KeeKee is in. I mean, not block you here. So if you want to look up any of these, I have these written down. Just there you go. You got The Hunted, The System, Rock Bottom, and Fearless Demon Killers. And he plays one of the fearless demon killers.
Yeah, I'm Nacho.
Nacho,
one of the counterparts to Fearless Demon Killers.
Yeah,
it's a great little short film, and we are going to start another part 2 episode of that here in the next probably 3 months or so.
Yeah. Now, if I remember the movie, it was either your character or the other guy's character that wasn't really a fearless demon killer. And
yeah, so my character was, I was actually a drug dealer and a tough guy, and then kind of like went through a mental disorder where I all of a sudden started having fears of things.
Oh.
So I got my whole character as a normal person got flipped upside down. So that's where you have Nacho, the character.
Okay.
And I always compare Fearless Demon Killers to kind of a crossover between Scooby-Doo and a Cheech and Chong type of movie.
Yeah. Now, what we saw at the movie, what was it, the horror film,
yeah, it's Horrific Film Festival.
Horrific Film Festival. That was the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's like what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, it was the first series. So
yeah.
I think he was going to do a 5-part series. So that was episode 1.
Okay.
Of the series. So again, probably in about 3 months, I think we're going to start production on episode 2 of that.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before you go, you good at playing any musical instruments?
No, not really. Not unless you have a trombone.
A trombone? No, don't have any. Don't have any wind instruments here. But just for the heck of it, why don't we do this? All right. So let me try to get right here. I have a little drum set here. I have a little cheap pink guitar right here, or I've got this. You want which one? Pick one.
I'll have to go with the baby ukulele.
Baby ukulele. Okay. We got Aloha, Aloha. Okay.
Okay. So what are we doing here?
All right. We're just gonna jam and pretend like we know what we're doing. Okay. So let's see. I got you right there. Where's my drums? Okay. Yeah. Nick says, "Do you bowl?" Like, yeah, sure, I can bowl. I'm okay with it.
It's been a long time.
All right, so it's not even very loud.
What are we doing here?
I don't know. I guess I'll play something and then you just strum or whatever. And okay, I don't know. See, that thing's so quiet, you can barely hear it. Okay, very good. All right, that's good. Yay!
Thank you.
All right, let's go see what everybody else is up to. All right, you got your copy of the book? Okay. All right, don't forget, Out of the Abyss.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in, and look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Please leave some comments on Amazon, how you like the book if you purchase it. And I will be doing a book signing here in San Antonio probably in the next couple of weeks. So I will be on my Facebook page at KeeKee Takatsuki at Facebook.com, and I will be letting everybody know when I'll be doing the book signing and what restaurant that I'll be doing it at. So guys, look out for that.
All right, excellent. All right. Shoot, I actually almost don't even need to go to the restaurant for the book signing because I got you right here.
Yeah, I can sign.
No, why don't I do that? Yeah. All right. Let me have him sign the book and you just watch Marlita work out. Okay. Yeah, you got Kiki signing the book for me. All right. Nick says, "You're welcome."
What book is that, baby? His book?
Yes. Nick says, "You're welcome, Kiki." The book Out of the Abyss.
So you're from Hawaii, Kiki?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm from Hawaii.
Oh yeah, where?
Whipple.
Okay, I got family in Whipple.
Really?
Yeah. I'm from Kauai originally.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a couple of boys.
I have cousin lives in the island of
Okay. Yeah. You know the Ishii family?
I heard of them.
You know the Ishii family? Yeah. My cousin Francine Ishii and
Wow.
Francis and all them, they're from Whipple.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out here with David anyway.
Yeah. Yep, she's our housemate, I guess, almost.
Huh?
She's almost like part of our family, but our housemate, family member, you know. Look at her getting strong. Woo!
Ooh, I'm gonna be a wrestler soon.
Yeah. That's one of the things I would have loved to have done. I don't think I could ever be a professional wrestler because I'm like one of those heights that's like in between. I'm like too tall to be a midget wrestler, but I'm too short to be a regular wrestler. So it's like, what do I do? You know?
I got 1 more hour to go.
Kiki, you said here in San Antonio, you also have a gym or what do you do?
So I own a company called Dragon Flex Fitness, and I do fitness training.
Okay.
And I've been doing personal training and rehabilitation therapy and teaching martial arts now for about 10 years.
Okay.
Hey, can you teach me how to grow big muscle?
Yes, absolutely. And you work hard, I see that.
Yeah.
And what kind of food do you eat to grow muscle?
So diet-wise, I usually will give everybody an initial diet, and then it's kind of like on you. Like the biggest thing is always remembering like you're eating your 3 solid meals a day and then 3 snacks in between, so that your body and metabolism stays running. A lot of people want to tend to, when they eat their food sources, they want to eat most of the carbohydrates.
I don't want carbs. I don't eat carbs.
We come from a place that everybody eats rice, you know, and rice is number one.
So now I don't eat bread.
But you can eat as much protein as you want.
Yeah, I eat like 4 eggs, boiled eggs in the morning.
But the thing about it is too, is as long as you're getting enough exercise to match the intake of your food source, then your body will start to conform to it. It's just staying on that regimen.
So but in the morning, I eat at work. I would eat cereal. You know, the hot cereal and those protein. You know.
What type of cereal?
Oatmeal.
Okay. Oh, you still eat oatmeal in the morning? Okay.
In the morning, and then I put rice, raisin, you know, and then I would eat corn-boiled egg.
Okay.
And
for lunch?
For lunch, I would eat salad, but have some protein with this chicken.
Okay. And then dinner?
And dinner, like, it's the same thing. If I have a little soup and salad, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's fine. But how, like, is that your normal? You do that all the time, or you just started doing that?
I've been doing it for a month now.
Okay. Yeah, it takes 30 days to either form a habit or break a habit. So whatever you had in your regimen before, you know, you're gonna have to
Merlita.
learn to find something that's livable for
Go say
yourself.
hi to Mercy.
This is your ideal weight.
Mercy's over here. Hey, Nick, this is Mercy. Hi, Mercy. All right, so Nick says hi to Mercy. I think he thinks that Merlita was you. This other lady that you see in this room her name is Merlita, the one that's working out.
How come my muscle is not growing? I eat a lot of protein.
Yeah, but it also depends on what type of workout you're doing. You know, if you're doing things that are or more on the cardiovascular side of things, like the anaerobic stuff that you're doing, the crossovers and stuff, that's not going to give you the muscularity.
I'm doing that for my abs.
Yeah,
for
the glute flexors,
yeah.
But it's still an anaerobic exercise instead of doing a squat or a lunge. That's going to compress the muscle. The anaerobic stretching type of exercise is only going to give you tone.
Yeah.
So
in order for me to have a big muscle, I have to gradually lift heavy.
You're definitely going to have to start lifting weights. And
I have a few pounds there.
Yeah, so stay consistent with it. And using like a bicep and a muscle or bicep group is going to be in 3 different directions. You're not going to just lift one direction. You're going to have a circumference of the muscle.
Oh, I need a training.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it, you know, of understanding the formulation of the body.
I watch this women. I like their big thighs. You know, I like muscle thighs. I like here big, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
like now I have a muscle, but it seems like my thigh is small. So I like big muscle.
Like when you do your squats, get into your squat form right now. How?
I do squat like that.
So open your feet wider.
Wow, things we can get on our.
Outwards towards the neck. Yeah. Now when you go down the squat,
Hi, Merlita. Okay.
So now, when you're doing your squat form, allow your gluteus maximus to go back.
Oh, like that?
There you go.
Oh,
so
wow.
let it go back first into your squat, and then back up. So now you can take your 8-pound weight, hold back here, and then go down to your squat, pushing your gluteus maximus.
I go like this?
Yeah, no. So when you're here, stand back up. Okay. And then when you go down, like you're going to sit down in a chair. So grab my fingertips. Okay. Now go sit like you're going to sit in a chair. So back towards the back. There you go.
Oh.
Now stand back up. Now go again like you're going to sit in a chair. There you go.
Oh, okay.
You know how that hits your quadriceps a lot before? And form is everything when it comes to.
Oh, wow, now.
Yeah. Huh. And then you can take your 8-pound weights and hold them on your shoulders now.
I can see it.
And you can add your weight to it. So now if you take these 8-pound dumbbells and hold these dumbbells
Y'all
right
learning
on your
anything here?
shoulders and stand
That's some
square.
good stuff. We got some free information right here. That's some good
Put your
stuff.
hands up on your shoulders.
Don't forget to check out KeeKee Takatsuki. And all those lists of the movies and check out this book right here. And he also, if you're in the San Antonio area, try to see if I can find some way to get a hold of him, and he can even train you, like he's doing with our friend Marita right there.
One here up front,
Like this?
right here. Keep your arms straight. Now do the same exercise going back.
Wow. I can feel the difference.
Yeah. So even when you're doing your lunges, you can come and counter your body weight with the lunge in this direction.
So
when
like
you're dropping
this?
through here.
Like this?
Yep. You just put your hand on your hips, so you keep your hips straight, and you cross your arm. Now you're going to hit more in the front of the club.
Oh.
Just small things like that.
Wow. I'm doing it wrong.
Very good.
Oh, thank you.
Woo!
Oh. Wow.
So
I know I work too hard, but
And that'll change everything.
Yeah.
When you get into the proper form of working out, your body will you'll start to see the change. But if you're doing things in the wrong form, your joints will start to hurt.
It has to be like this, huh?
Not until plie. So right now you're technically in a ballerina plie. So I always tell people, right? So your heels should match where your shoulder and a squat form. So slide your feet out just a little bit towards me. Come bring your foot towards me. Or a little bit towards me. There you go. Now, keep where your knee is. Keep where your knee is pointing and stretching up where your toes should be. So put just a little bit right there. Now, open this up a little bit wider. Go in this way. That way. So that I'm going to move your foot. Ready? Okay. Right there. So that would be your natural squat position.
Oh.
Okay. And now you're going to bring your body, your hips go back, your gluteus maximus goes backwards. There you go. Keep your weight towards your kneecaps. Your knees follow each other.
Miss?
Yeah.
Okay. I can feel it.
That'll change everything. You'll start to see this getting a lot tighter. And you'll see this, the form of your quadriceps rolling.
Oh, like that. That feels good.
all right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again for having me.
You're welcome.
Have a blessed day. Aloha.
Aloha.
And I'll see you guys later. And you guys have a wonderful afternoon. And look forward to hearing from a little bit of response from out of the bit.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you
All
for having
right.
me.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
I feel the difference.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, we just got you on video doing this. Hey, Mercy, come here. All right. Very good. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. All right. Very good. I'm going to go back into this room, finish my little radio broadcast stuff, and then we're going to go see what everybody's up to and call it a day. I love this. This is actually having people over that are like professionals and stuff, and actually being able to interview them and all that sort of thing. That's so cool. Okay. All right. Hey, who remembers the mid-'80s metal scene after Quiet Riot had a #1 album and groups like Twisted Sister and Rat brought it to a new popularity? There was a group called Wasp that had a song called Blind in Texas. The video is actually pretty fun, including a ZZ Top parody at the end. A few years ago, I was so happy to say I've been to all the places Wasp lists in that song. The Lone Star was hot tonight in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, in the West Texas town El Paso, Corpus Christi, and Waco. The Yellow Rose is wild. Oh, and Austin, they list Austin too. I'm blind in Texas. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make the change. Well, you make my dreams come true. So listen to your heart before you tell him goodbye. Oh, my love, 1,000 kisses from you is never enough. I just don't want to stop. Never too much, never too much, never too much. And it's never too much for me to be right here for you. I hope you all enjoy this, right? Okay. The Muppet Show. Let's see. Do I have the Muppet Show in here somewhere? Let me see. Somewhere in here, and I can't find it right now. Okay, well, anyway, the Muppet Show. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Oh, Kermit, I hope someday we will know. The Great Muppet Show lasted 5 seasons from 1976 to 1981. So amazing the range of guest stars and musical performance they had on that show. Just think the very first guest host of the 80s was January 4th, 1980, was Dizzy Gillespie. And the last, on the 15th of March, 1981, was Shirley Bassey. But there was also Melissa Manchester, Debbie Harry, Carol Burnett, Johnny Cash, Brooke Shields, Linda Ronstadt, Linda Carter, the cast of Star Wars, and even Diana Ross. Wow. Just so amazing to look at stuff like that. All right. So celebrate good times. Come on. We did it all for the glory of love. And that's my Sunday night show. All right. What do I got? Nick says, you make my dreams come true. Yes, Hall & Oates. Very good, Nick. Yep. In fact, just recently I was watching the new season of The Masked Singer, and one of the songs that they had on there, somebody was saying a version of that. So that was my influence to include it in my material for this week. Hey, Mercy's here.
Why are you doing that?
Hi, Mercy. How you doing? All right. What's up? Okay. Oh. Okay, so next Saturday night is the 27th of March. It's going to be the last Saturday of the month of March. Okay. What do you think here? All right. Happy Saturday night. And not only do I have lizards that hang around my house, I have some chameleons. What are you doing? They come and go. They come and go. Every day is like survival. You like the station? You like the David and Mercy channel? There is no rival. 'Cause every rose has its thorn. Every dark has its dawn. Every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Especially if he's in denial and tells you not to tell his heart, his achy, breaky heart. But you know what? Sometimes you got to fight for your right to party. And next Saturday night is almost here, so no fighting necessary. All right. So last Saturday, okay, so tonight's show, my radio show, did that Muppet Show research I just covered. You know, you also had Carol Channing in the 80s, Debbie Harry, Loretta Swit from MASH, Roger Moore, Alan Arkin, and even Christopher Reeves were guest stars in the 80s on the Muppet Show. You know, the Muppet movie actually came out in 1979, but there was two Muppet movies that came out in the 80s. You have The Great Muppet Caper, and one of my favorites, The Muppets Take Manhattan. Good times. Well, we are here, and the powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be? Think about that. Okay. You done think about it? Hey, check this out. Also, either tonight or tomorrow or maybe Tuesday, I haven't posted it yet, but I have a video ready to go of me and last Sunday's special guest singing a version of Stand By Me. And I think it actually sounds okay. I guess when I posted, you guys be the judges of that, okay? Hopefully you think it sounds okay too, because otherwise I'd be embarrassed to put it on YouTube. All right, welcome to the 80s. Let's have some fun. Let's play Tell a Story using 80s movie titles. Once upon a time, Spaceballs met up with Batman to party on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The Karate Kid met the Princess Bride and told the Terminator, "We're no angels." They were feeling moonstruck after reading some postcards from the Edge. All about when Harry met Sally. It took the whole A-team to take down Cujo, a mixed match pair of twins found their wild style and got footloose while singing Brian's song. Talk about a song. I got music. I got... So it's been a long time since I rock and roll. Been a long time since I took the stroll. Gotta get back, gotta get back, gotta get back, back to where I come from. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Wow. Been almost 50 years since Led Zeppelin 4 was released. And their last official album was In Through the Outdoor, was released in 1979. You know, the closest the 80s gave us to Led Zeppelin was solo Robert Plant albums. And for the most part, he stopped really rocking until approximately 1988 with his Now and Zen album. Been a long time since I played 80s music. Not really, I mean, just listen to my show tonight. And what? All right. Here we are. We're going to go look at charts. 50s, 60s, and 70s, and 80s. You know, we got music that my radio station plays. My show was 80s music, but I want to think, okay, I'm going to look back. What were some of the #1 hits from this moment in the years ending in 1? Okay, so think about it this way. This is for a show that's taking place next Saturday night. So the 27th day of March, 1951, the #1 song was Perry Como, If. March of 1961, we had Elvis Presley with Surrender. Surrender to me. March of 1971, we had Janis Joplin with Me and Bobby McGee. Janis, where did you go? I had Janis on here somewhere. Oh no, I can't find my Janis Joplin album. Hold on. Play some music while I go searching for Janis Joplin. I had it too. It was ready. It was right here. Janis Joplin, where'd you go? Seriously? We got JC Velasquez, girl groups. Mariah Carey. And set it off to the side. This was the special day. I was actually had it ready. Oh, there it is right there. It was right in front of my face. Okay. So March of 1971, the #1 song is on this album. It's called Me and Bobby McGee by Janis Joplin. Okay. March 1981, the #1 song was Blondie with Rapture. That's her when Blondie was rapping, and you had Fab Five Freddy dancing in the video too. Fab Five Freddy told everybody smile. He said, TJ smiled and said, my. Flash is flash, flash is good. Flash, na. Okay, March of 1991, the #1 song was Gloria Estefan with Coming Out of the Dark. But what about albums? What about albums at this moment in time? All right, so #1 albums, March 1951, we had the South Pacific Cast album and Mario Lanza with The Toast of New Orleans. March of 1961, and Lawrence Welk with Calcutta. March of 1971, we have Janis Joplin, Pearl. Yay, I got it. You know what? I think as far as Janis Joplin goes, the best album that she's in is when she was with Big Brother and the holding company with Cheap Thrills, because that had Piece of My Heart on it and stuff like that. But this, as far as solo Janis Joplin goes, it's one of the better ones. Got Cry Baby, Me and Bobby McGee, Mercedes Benz, Get It While You Can, Move Over. That's all right there. Okay. March of 1981, we have REO Speedwagon with High Infidelity. And then March of 1991, we have, I just showed you this one, although this isn't the particular album, but some of the songs are on this one. Like Vision of Love, Love Takes Time, Someday, I Don't Want to Cry. Mariah Carey's debut album, Mariah Carey, March of 1991, which was 30 years ago. Okay, what about movies? Okay, 1951, we had some movies like Quo Vadis, David and Bathsheba, A Streetcar Named Desire. 1961 brought us West Side Story, The Parent Trap, and 101 Dalmatians. All right. March of 1971, I keep saying March because that's what I did with #1s. Okay. Fiddler on the Roof, Diamonds Are Forever, and The Last Picture Show. It wasn't The Last Picture Show because I've seen more after that, but that's okay. 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark on Golden Pond, For Your Eyes Only. For your eyes only, only for you. Then 1991, we had Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Beauty and the Beast, and Silence of the Lambs. Hey, does anybody remember the 80s rock and wrestling connection? It happened around the perfect time in my life. I didn't really start discovering popular music or even rock music for that matter until at least the arrival of MTV in 1981. And I didn't start wrestling, although I've never been a pro wrestler, but I love pro wrestling, until I was in 8th grade around 1983. It was Cyndi Lauper meeting up with Captain Lou Albano and having him and her Girls Just Want to Have Fun video. And for a shining brief moment, she took a female wrestler named Wendy Richter and helped her become a part of a memorable moment. Putting those two words next to each other, I probably should have never happened. Memorable moment. And the very first WrestleMania in 1985. She lost the title to Spider Lady, otherwise known as the Fabulous Moolah, at the end of that year.
Tanya.
And sadly, another one bites the dust. And I get to bite some fruit. Thank you, Mercy. Look what Mercy gave me. Woo, look at that fruit plate. Almost don't even have to eat regular food for dinner. It is almost 4 p.m. Okay. So, this coming Saturday is going to be the last Saturday of the month. The last weekend of March 2021. Can you believe it? And when that comes, Passover begins next Saturday. And then that Sunday is going to be Palm Sunday. In 1970, George Harrison sang All Things Must Pass. In 1964, Dionne Warwick sang Walk On By. In 1993, rap group The Far Side sang She Keeps On Passing Me By. And in 1989, R&B group Soul to Soul had a song called Keep On Moving. Keep on moving, don't stop, like the hands of time. Well, none of those really have anything to do with the holiday of Passover, but oh well. Oh well. Well, well, well. Peaches. Very good, Murphy. I love watching people eat. Okay. All right. So keep in mind, this is for material for next Saturday night. All right. And I say tomorrow, wait. All right, yeah. Tomorrow, or next Saturday, the 28th. What is next? Yeah, next Saturday is the 28th of March. Okay. 28th of March is Palm Sunday. The day we celebrate with palm branches, the day Jesus rode into Jerusalem. In 1988, Sinead O'Connor had a song called Jerusalem, but that's besides the point. Palm Sunday could also be a day when you open your Bible and find your favorite verses in the book of Psalms. Like I can think of 2 Christian songs already influenced by Psalm 100. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. For he has made me glad, he has made me glad. I will rejoice, for he has made me glad. For the Lord is good and his love endures forever. And even those words of advice in Psalms 101 for those looking forward to April Fool's Day. No one who practices deceit will dwell in my house. No one speaks falsely will stand in my presence. Okay. Well, so we got a whole bunch of religious Christian holidays to look forward to. So if that's what you believe, you picked a good time of year. Because that means that Easter's also coming up. All right, everybody. Let's see what's going on. What's Mercy doing? Hello, Mercy.
Yeah.
What's up? What are you doing? I'm cutting the fruits. Okay. Let's see. Let's watch you cut a fruit. Huh? Not a good one? Oh, okay. There we go. All right. Okay, yeah, 2 hours long again. Woo!
Oh, I think that's enough.
Yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you like meeting my friend KeeKee Takatsuki. Why is that so hard for me to say? Oh my God, it doesn't make any sense. All right. You know what time it is? It's time to go around the house and say goodbye to all the living things in this house. All right.
Honey,
Yeah,
did you feed the fish?
we're going to start with the fish. All right, let's go see the fish. Say bye, fish. Make sure I feed them some stuff. I fed them earlier, but they love to eat as long as you don't make them eat too much. All right, birdie time. They've been kind of quiet this time. Let's go say goodbye to them anyway. What's up, birdies? Bye bye, birdies. I'm gonna miss you so. Bye bye, birdies. 'Cause it's time to go. All right. What about our friend Merlita? You got to see her working out earlier and learning some new stuff about working out and gaining muscle and all that sort of thing. The question is she done? Is she? Merlita, you in there? Okay, well, you saw her earlier, so. Oh, no, she's outside. Okay. No wonder she's not answering in her room because she's outside. Okay. Bye, Merlita. There we go. All right, back to me and Mercy. All right, you ready to say goodbye again, Mercy? Go ahead and put an end to this current live stream. Okay.
Come over here.
Come over here. Where? Okay, very good. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Keep tuned. We'll try to come up with more interesting stuff. Hope you learned a lot. I hope you get to check out my friend Kiki and his movies and his book. And I'm going to try to do more of this, somewhat famous people interviews and stuff like that. I think it'll be a good thing. Stay tuned. We're going to do what we can. All right, Mercy, you ready to say goodbye?
Okay, bye.
Bye.